I don't think I've ever thought I'd be at this point where I'm at, where we're considering guys like Gilbert Burns old school. And I hate to say this because this generation of fighters, the Gilbert Burns, the Robert Whitakers, Yo Romero, Tony Ferguson, are considered old school now, and it just feels weird saying that as a UFC fan. And, yeah, I'm going to miss them dearly when they're all gone. And we're starting to see it now. I'm wondering how Robert Whitaker is going to do against Khamzat. I wonder how, like this weekend, how's Gilbert Burns going to do against Sean Brady, of all people? Because Sean Brady, he's lost a couple. He had that undefeated hype train, and then he went up against Belal Muhammad, who's now currently the champion, so you can't fault him too much now for that. But Sean Brady bounced back a little bit. He's doing all right. I consider him, like, right now where he's at, kind of like a B tier, not necessarily top, but not necessarily the bottom of the food chain in the UFC. Not by a long shot. Like, the guy's got amazing grappling, jiu-jitsu, but definitely it's like Jack Della Mena with Gilbert Burns. I feel like it should be a close fight, but it could go either way. Because you watch that Jack Della Mena and Gilbert Burns fight, it was a back and forth until Jack got the finish. And for Gilbert Burns, who's considered being around as long as he had, 2 weight divisions, keeping up with these young guys as much as he can, but we're starting to see that he's not ending up on the right end of these fights. That only makes me wonder. Sean Brady might be a step down from Jack Della Mena, but if he loses to Sean Brady, he's got to think about his exit strategy. And that's only saying that from a kind of preserve your health. You've done enough for us fans. And I'm honest about that. I'd rather see Gilbert Burns say, hey, I'm not in my prime anymore, hang up the gloves, than have him continuously stay in and then not be the same guy anymore and take more damage. That's going to affect his later years when he's probably going to be coaching the next round of fighters, when he's going to be, probably opening up his own gym. A lot of these UFC fighters, they'll get in the game and it's all they don't know about, but they don't realize that after they get out the game, there's a lot of things they could do with the name they've built, whether they've touched the gold or not. And that's why I'm very adamant about hoping these fighters leave at the best time for their health. However, if he does lose against Sean Brady, which it's about, it's possible, but it's also possible he could win. But I'm going to change my tune slightly and say either or. Win or lose against Sean Brady, he should start thinking about hanging it up. And I do think that if he wants that Usman rematch, that is a perfect send-off fight for both of them. Because I really don't think Usman's in his prime anymore. Caught up fast to Usman after that head kick. And yeah, no, he beat Khamzat. I mean, no, he didn't beat Khamzat. Khamzat beat him. He lost to Khamzat, and then he lost to Leon Edwards twice, so he's on a bit of a skid. And he could win against Gilbert Burns, but I think Gilbert could hop into that card and we could have one last send-off fight for both of those guys. Because I don't want to see it continue to go where Usman ends up on like a 7-fight losing streak, or we see Gilbert Burns end up on like a 5-fight losing streak, and we're just watching them on these pay-per-views to take losses that are just going to damage them further. But, yeah, no. That Usman fight is definitely should be the next move no matter what happens. And then both guys lay gloves in the octagon together. That would be in a perfect world, okay? But we don't live in a perfect world, and that is up to Burns and Usman at the end of the day, what they're going to do. But I can only hope that the timeline shifts to a little bit of perfection, because right now, we need it.